having Reggie out of the hospital and going to respite for short term and then transition to residential is the same opportunity that I'm offering.
I can bet. Okay, hold it. You're reading. What email are you reading? Because I want to read it too.
I spoke with the CCS, and she says that you're requesting that Reggie be released from the hospital to a hotel near to you. Is that your request?
That's what according to his IP, that's what the emergency plan says. That's what it says. Not page whatever. We look it up. That's what the IP say. Is that not real? It
that
says,
he could be released to a...
Say it again?
That he would be released to a hotel?
It says, in case of a life-threatening emergency, call 911. Primary care physician, PCP, it has all the information. If you're receiving day or residential services from a DDA licensed providing agency, do you have an emergency plan for medical emergencies, weather-related emergencies, and natural disasters that have been reviewed with you? That says no. Does the team agree that your emergency plan meets your needs? No. If living with family or in a non-DDA licensed home, are you prepared to shelter in place? No. Do you have an emergency kit? No. In case of emergency, it says, where can you relocate? Nearest hotel. So they can better assist you in the event of an emergency. Are you interested in registering with your needs with EMS? No, whatever. This is on his IP. So I don't understand. If there's an emergency, I thought that was a part of what happened. Reggie is being held in Shepherd Pratt because you guys you won't make Arison do their job. Nobody will take them. I've been calling around. Who is going to take him? Nobody will take him. And he has a provider, but you guys are not enforcing that. In the meeting, okay, if you look at the email that Nicole wrote and then edited the notes, it says that Shagun said that he would not provide the services until DDA told him to. Did you read that?
I've read that. But
then. So you guys are telling them
they're
not
no
to
longer They're no longer their residential provider because they decided that they weren't going to provide residential.
They said because you won't let them. If you told them to, why are you telling them not to? Why are you telling? Because that's what's holding my son up in Shepherd Pratt. Why are you doing that? First of all, Mr. Brian, why did you come to my home? Can you tell me why you came to my home? Why did you come here and waste my time?
Okay. Can I speak for 1 minute, please?
Sure. But I would like to know why you came to my home. Why did you come here?
Because I'm trying to resolve this as best as I can for Reggie. That's why I came to speak with you.
But we got nowhere.
So can I just say something, please?
I'm listening.
Can I say something? All right.
Listen.
So in terms of residential, our son is no longer the residential provider. Okay, that ended some time ago, and your new service.
Some time ago when? He was unfairly put out. Do you have the letter that Ron Prelo wrote? Do you have that?
After all of that, he had personal supports, right?
Because we were forced into it, Mr. Bryan. Have you looked at this case? We were forced into it. We had no choice. That is not what Reggie needed, and you know it. And I told you, we're repeating the same thing that you said. This is what I don't get. Like, why is it that you guys do this? You sat here, you got all of this information.
You're asking for Reggie to go back somewhere that I've not accepted him. So you have to move on to find a new provider. And that's what I've been saying from the start. You will have to find a new provider, and you have to work with a new provider.
So are you going to admit that Arison unfairly put him out? Did you also hear that Shagun said that Reggie was put out because of me? I called the police on him. That's why. So because I did what was supposed to keep my son safe, my son gets retaliated and not get the services. Mr. Bryan, is that fair?
I think most of these things are based on relationships, and if you're going to be, if they do not feel comfortable with his entire team, I don't know if I would agree to do it either. But
I don't understand what
because
you're saying.
most providers are willing to work with the team, and you've been provided opportunities to work with other providers too. So what I'd like to do now is offer you that same opportunity. I'd like to say, if you would like Reggie to be transferred from the hospital, the transition plan would be that he goes into respite, and then we look for a provider that is willing to work with him. Okay, so that's one. The second thing is that we may not be able to find a provider exactly close to your home, as in your home, in the same area that you are, but we are willing to provide you with opportunities to work with providers who eventually may find a place closer to him. But the transition has to happen from the hospital if that is what you desire, okay? And that's all I can offer to you at this time.
Okay, so while you're making your offers, please know that my son was molested, okay? Do you know that? My son was molested in Inspired Options, and it's not fair that he's not as close to his family as possible. Do you know my son is nonverbal? My son was molested, Mr. Bryan.
Okay.
So that doesn't matter. That's not something that you take into consideration based on DDA's website, person-centered plans, and things like that. My son was molested, and here it is. You guys are ignoring all of that. You're ignoring all of that while he may not be close to his family. Where's you going to put him? Where's you going to put him? I'm listening. Where are you going to put him?
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll offer Humanum to come out and do another assessment, transition him to a respite. You will be contacted with the name of some providers, and you can choose one of them.
And how long is this going to take? Another assessment. When all of this was done, Mr. Bryan, you guys are wrong, and you know you're wrong. My son is sitting in a freaking hospital rotting. How long is this process going to take? Because this should be an emergency situation. He can be released. But here it is because of your bureaucracy, and you already knew this. I remember you and Norma Matthews both said, oh, give us a few days. That was months ago. You forgot that too, right?
I'm not interested.
Did you forget that? Did you forget that?
I'm not interested in arguing with you.
It's not an argument. My son is stuck in a hospital because of you, because of Norma Matthews. Why won't you guys do the right things? Another assessment. Release my son.
He's not going to get another assessment. They have to. The provider will have to go out and meet with them and.
Okay, so when are they coming? I'm going to go to the hospital. Right. When are they coming?
All right. So that's what I'm offering to you. I'll send what.
What you still haven't said what a real offer is. Who is the place? What? Nicole said Dominion. She said Fidelity. Whatever. She said I spoke to the guy from Fidelity. They have his paperwork. They have one-bedroom apartments. Nobody has done anything in Dutch Village. I spoke to them yesterday and today. Sir, you know what? You guys keep lying. It's really sad. It is so. So are you saying Fidelity Resources? Where did I get the name from? Nicole gave me the name the other day. If I'm making this up, the woman has Reggie's file. You saying no? No what?
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to discuss, Ms. Sam?
I'm asking you about Fidelity Resources. Is that the place? Who are you sending to see my son? What are you doing, sir? You haven't said anything. What are you doing?
I'm not sending anyone to see your son without your permission. So after my conversation, I'll send my email to the CCS, and I'm going to tell her where to go and who she should send to.
Who is that?
I don't know. It could be Fidelity.
Wow.
It could be any one of the providers.
Wow.
As long as you agree to work with a provider, that would be okay. It could be Fidelity.
Mr. Bryan, you don't know. So you mean to tell me you're calling me, but you don't even have any solutions. You're just calling to make another phone call. So you really don't even know who. You don't know who we're talking about. You don't even have, I am so confused. So you pick up the phone to just call. Okay, you're saying to me, because I want to understand.
To find out what, if you're willing to work with providers. You're saying that now, but all of your conversations have not always been that way, Ms. Spence.
You know what I don't understand? Here it is. He has a provider, and you have allowed the provider to discriminate against my child. You have allowed it. As long as you are willing to own it, but you won't, you have allowed the provider to discriminate against my child.
Okay.
Here it is. I'm sitting here watching Harrison. I'm watching Harrison daily take care of these white men, but you won't let my son get the same services. My son has to go down to Dutch Village, but you won't let my son get the same services. Sir, who is the provider? Why would you call me without information? You're wasting my time, taxpayers' time. Why are you calling me with no information?
I'm sorry that I've wasted your time, okay? So
who is the person? Who are the people? Who are the people? You would rather send an email to the middleman who does absolutely nothing instead of just telling me, Miss Fan, these are the providers. Who are the providers, Mr. Brian? You're saying you don't know.
Have you spoken with Fidelity?
Mr. Noel and Mr. O'Tara. Who are we talking about? My son is on lots of medication. This is not fair, and you know it. You came here and shut my face for nothing. And I was told you guys don't even make house calls. Why'd you come to my house? Who is the provider?
Yes.
Hi, this is Carol Bowman. I was wondering if I can try to help.
Please help. If you had some solutions, please don't waste my time. Who is the provider? Harrison kicked him out. Who is the provider?
Have you spoken with Fidelity? If you've spoken with Fidelity and you're willing to
work with... Is that the provider? Is that the provider? Because you just told me you didn't know. Is that the provider? I've been calling them for 2 days. Who is the provider?
Can I get your child's name?
His name is Reginald Knight. This is not right, and you know it. Here it is. You guys talk behind my back. Humana sent emails of referrals of places. Where's that email, Mr. Brian? Where's that email with the referrals of the places Humana chose?
Miss Fan,
I'm listening.
You are going on and about this, but we've provided you with multiple providers. I personally have gone out of my way and found providers for you.
Where are they? I'm listening.
I have found several providers and sent to you, and you have ignored all of them, or you've spoken to them and decided that you did not want to work with them.
Why did you take me off the speaker? Why did you take me off the speaker?
I can put you back on the speaker. It's not a problem.
Put me back on the speaker because apparently you don't want anybody else to hear the truth. You don't want anybody to hear the truth.
Keep speaking, Miss Fan.
Okay, I will keep speaking. I don't have anything to hide, Mr. Brian. I don't do this for a living. What providers have I ignored? Which ones? I've been trying to work with them. They won't take Reggie. Who have I ignored? Nobody. I called Fidelity Resources for 2 days straight. How do you think I know their names? I went to go see an apartment with Dawkins. What happened to that? What happened to that? Don't lie on me, Mr. Brian. Don't lie on me. And you know I have worked with whomever. They decide whenever they drop the ball. Did you send Dawkins to me? Did you send Jane Uzomo? Did you send Jane Uzomo? Did you send her?
All of those providers have tried to work with you.
I asked you a question, Mr. Brian. I deserve an answer to that question. Did you send Dawkins Health Services on East 25th Street? Did you send Jane Uzomo to me to go and look at an apartment? Did you or did you not?
They were trying to work with you.
It's either a yes or no, Mr. Brian. You sent her. We went to apply for the apartment. She didn't have the proper documentation. She didn't have the Dunn and Ben Street or whatever it's called, the Dunn Street things. She didn't have that. So the next thing I know, she doesn't want to work with us. Why did you say that I would not work with them? I went with her. I have documentation. I went with her. What happened to Dawkins? What happened to it, Mr. Brian?
Miss Span?
Miss Bowman, what happened to Dawkins? I'm asking you guys.
Miss Span, I honestly don't know what's going on, but I'm willing to step in and help out.
Please do, because everybody else has lied. Everybody is trying to shift the blame onto me. I won't work with them. Me and the woman went to go see. She didn't have the proper documentation, Miss Bowman. And how can I find these people? Her name was Jane Uzomo. She came to my house to pick me up, and we went to go see an apartment so Reggie could get released from the hospital. Never heard anything else back from her. What happened to that, Mr. Bryan? Yeah. No response. Miss Bowman, what are we going to do? Hopefully you have fresh eyes. Hopefully you will tell the truth. Hopefully you will document. And hopefully you will not shift the blame onto innocent people who have no power.